All right, this one's called Find the Moisture Generator. Okay, this was going to take, this was going to blow your mind because this condition could exist in millions and millions of homes. And nobody ever thinks about this because you can't see this. So let's get into this here real quick. So, this, if you look down here, that picture there, see me pointing? That's a slab. So we're like, oh, I got a slab house. I don't have a basement. Okay, no, you don't. I have a crawl space, and the way you know that is just hit your pound on the floor with your foot. Like you could tell if there's a crawl space or if it's concrete. And so if it's hard, it's concrete, the slab. Now, you want to also, if you notice, pay particular attention to these ducts. See the duct right there? And so sometimes those are underneath the slab and they get full of water, which I have tons of videos on. Oh, by the way, on my YouTube channel, just is Clevelandmarko, Marko, Clevelandmarko. And if you just go to the search section, you could punch in what you want. Maybe you could find a video. I have 1,000 videos. I also have a service on the internet. Just Google Call Marco with a question, Marko, and 20 minutes or so will solve your house problem, whatever it is. We'll take some photos. We'll talk about it, and we'll figure it out if nobody else can. So here's what happens. So they build a house and they dig all the way around. They put a footer in, right? The footer, right? And then they build. They put they put some stone down, a masonry block or concrete, and then they build a wall and go up, right? And they build your house, and then they bring a concrete, and through a door or window they fill it. They fill the floor up with cement, concrete. Cement is in concrete, so it's concrete, and they vibrate it, and hopefully they pack it down. Hopefully they put in a vapor barrier. And here you could actually see, you can't see it, but there's actually a piece of plastic stuck to the bottom of the concrete. But here's what happens. 9 out of 10 times, they don't compact that soil, okay, in your living room, in your dining room, in your kitchen. And so, or the stone, okay. And here you could see it was kind of like sand, okay. And if it was wet and it wasn't installed at its optimum moisture content of sand is like 9, 11, 10%, really small window for sand and, clay and brown clays and gray clays and aggregates, and they all got different moisture contents and different maximum dry densities for compaction. Well, they don't compact it. So over time, the soil settles and the slab stays where it's at. Now you got a gap. I mean, that gap is like probably that wide. See how wide that is? Like, I don't know, it could be that wide. And so what could happen, sometimes you can crack it and then your slab caves in a bit and your walls get all messed up and you got to try to fill it. A lot of people that own these will put like concrete fillers in the slabs under the carpets. So you never know until you pull the carpet up. They've been dumping concrete, Some people want to fill these holes and they realize they're going to need several trucks of concrete to fill this hole in. And then, of course, you could take the chance of putting concrete into the ducts. So here's what happens in a house like this. So this house had a musty odor. And it's like, if you're looking for the obvious, right? Didn't have a basement. We didn't see water in the ducts, which is kind of odd. We didn't see humidifier in the furnace. We didn't see a ventless heater. We didn't see the use of interior vapor barrier, all the usual stuff. The EFIS failures, the culture stone failures, none of that. The roof leaks, the ice dam backups, none of that was going on. And then finally, I took the cover off. You take off this little cover here, this register cover, and there's like a gap, a 1 to 2 inch gap. And you're like, whoa. Everything's settled. It dropped. And so now what happens is the heating system turns on our air conditioner and it communicates with underneath the slab. So your heating bill goes high. And if the slab is cold, it's colder, right? 52 degrees, the ground temperature, and it's warmer upstairs. And you got humidity, you get formed condensation. So this moisture then starts condensating. It's like an air conditioner condensating underneath your slab. So when the furnace kicks on, you don't even need a humidifier. This is a natural humidifier. And so you can't, now you've got mold. Maybe mold could start growing in the attic, or maybe the windows get condensation. This house had windows condensation was the issue. And the condensation of the windows was causing them to rot out. And so this was the problem. It was that the soil underneath the slab on grade had settled. and then there was communication with the furnace, and then you had the perfect temperature. They weren't running a dehumidifier because they figured they didn't need one because they have a slab house, and the humidity would condensate, and then that became the water source, and then that became the humidity that went up into the house. So it was almost like a natural humidifier, and they're probably getting some moisture from the soil below through damp rise. And so, how do you fix this problem? This is a tough one. You could fix it a bunch of ways. You probably have to extend the ductwork up to the fill the gap where the ductwork is missing, and then you probably will want to pressure grout this. So drill holes into it and fill it with concrete would be probably a smart way of doing it. Or intermittently do it in areas where you can create some additional footings, not footings, but bearing pressure, so this thing won't crack on you. And if it does crack, it's going to cause havoc to your floors. It's going to be like holes in your floors. You're going to have to use a lot of levelers, and floor levelers are really expensive. It's going to cause problems to your doors. They're not going to close right. Closet doors, and maybe some windows will be tight. You'll definitely have cracks in your walls, your partition walls in your house. So always think about this gap. Is there a gap underneath my concrete slab? And if there is, you could have this going on. And so this is kind of a forensic condition. Very hard. Most home inspectors will never figure this one out. Mold guys will never figure this one out. Even the building science guys won't figure this one out. But this is very common, and it happens to a lot of our homes that have slabs. The soil settles and there's gaps. And I've had cases where these conditions were great for bugs. Centipedes were great for pill bugs. I had one case of, I forget what you call them. Can't remember. I'm 60. Anyways, there's it's also mice will be in there. You're heating. We'll be heating an unconditioned space. You're creating a humidifier, a natural humidifier, and dust. Depending on the particulate that's in there, if you've got clay, you can have silt fines get picked up when it's dry, and you can't figure out why you got so much dust on your tables. You just cleaned those tables last week, for God's sake, and there's dust on them again. Oh my God, what is it from? Hey, call Marco with a question, Marko. Also, you can go to this channel, Clevelandmarko, Marko, and search for videos that you might want to watch. I have 100, probably 1,000 videos. Also, please rate, subscribe, and also down below, I got some links, the Amazon links, check them out. I do try to sell, I make a %. And if what's down below isn't what you want, you could just punch in what you want. At least it'll go to my site, and I'll get like a %. So, hey, thanks for coming on. Call Marco with a question if you can't figure something out.